Okay, so we see the map, so that means that we're on the broadcast. Very quickly, I used my template here around Gaziantep that I often use to create a quick mission with some targets there. And there's an Su-25 flying square circles, whatever, in that area here. But my main goal was to go catch up with the tanker and practice my air refueling. Once I get some fuel, I'll be able to go to the strike zone, which basically I've put a bunch of trucks in the middle of a village that I can shoot with rockets. Maybe I'll try the air-to-air part with the Su-25 as well. But mainly I wanted to practice air refueling, and after my takeoff it took me a while here to catch up to the tanker and try to set my radios properly, but I was able to communicate with him. But then I was in a catch-up mission all the way here, and now he's starting to turn, so I figured that I would start the broadcast here as we're both turning, and we'll see if I can form up to him, get this thing to catch some fuel. I'll have to remember to turn this switch on so that can happen. So that's where we are in the flight at this point. This is my plane. I took a Spanish NATO colored Mirage F1, so really just like a simple loadout with fuel tank in the center, some rocket pods and some magics. And so yeah, we're gonna go try to maybe join that tanker there. I guess that could make like a good shot there. Yeah, that's nice. So anyway, so hopefully you enjoyed the little broadcast there, which I'll just verify. Yeah, it seems to be running fine. Okay, so let's unpause, and we're gonna go try to fly formation with this guy. I'm coming in pretty fast. He's flying at 300, I'm at 400. So we'll use a little bit of air brake to slow down, but I still want to catch up to him. So we're at 18,000 feet. Through the radio, he's told me that he's flying at about 300 knots. So I had to use a lot of afterburner to catch up to him, so that means I've burned a lot of fuel, which is nice because now I can get some from him. So it looks like he's stabilizing, so I'm gonna try to go and form up on him. Hopefully we won't be too much in the sun. I'll try to form up on his left wing, see if I can get the plane trimmed properly. Okay, now I gotta slow down. So that looks pretty good in terms of the formation. So what I'll do is I'll open up my fuel door, try to form up behind him.
Pre-contact. Return pre-contact. pre-contact. Return pre-contact.
Sometimes they like us to be a bit lower.
Ready pre-contact. Clear contact.
There we go.
Airplane. Airplane. Airplane.
I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit so I can focus on the tanker and the baskets. Ooh, that was close. Try to stabilize with the plane. Okay, that's good. Let's go.
Contact. You're taking fuel.
A bit close. Oops.
Contact.
Disconnected, reconnected.
You're taking fuel.
Just for the fun of it. That's what it looks like. Always a good feeling when you're connected like that. And so there. I wanted to check my fuel. Okay, it looks like it's about at 5,000, so we must be very close to being full. So now when we unpause, it's just to stay in formation again. You see, that's what happens. Sometimes we sort of play with the stick a bit too much, so we'll go back to it. We're a little bit heavier now, so I feel like I'm tail heavy. Have to be careful on my approach. Okay, focus on the tanker.
Contact.
Okay, we got it.
You're taking fuel.
Oof.
Contact. Transfer complete.
Okay, we were transfer complete anyways. Yeah. 5,230, so that's pretty good. So usually the procedure is to move right. what I like to do to my tankers is go in front of them and say, thanks for the fuel. Alright, so at this point we're now a strike aircraft, so we're going to get the lights off. I'm going to switch the navigation from TACAN to the regular nav mode. I think this might take me to the first waypoint. I'm just going to check to be sure. But I think the strike waypoint will be the one after that, so I'll check my map just to be sure. So in the direction I'm going now, am I going for this waypoint or for the other one? We'll see in a second. Yeah, if it just turns like that, yeah, it's probably because I'm at the waypoint or just about. And so it means I'm here. As you can see, it's turning there. So we'll stick the next waypoint in, and then we'll start lowering our altitude because we're going for a ground strike. And it's not very far from my base, so it's going to be easy to come back afterwards. There we go. And so at this time we're going to set up our air-to-ground weapons. So I would like to have the interior rockets. Make sure that our master arm's on, that we turn the fuel thing off for the refueling. I could probably switch to the AWACS and ask for bogey dope.
Magic 1-1, Pontiac 1, request bogey dope. Pontiac 1, Magic 1-1, Bra 106, 416 at 7,000 knots.
Okay, so if I increase my radar range like this, I should see the target. My Angels is pretty much co-altitude. I'll go a little higher maybe. Let's check the map very quick. Yeah, he's right there, so.
Magic 1-1, passing waypoint 3 at 27,000.
Let's see if I do the narrower search. Where is that airplane? Oh, that's not him. Got lots of little dots, eh? Yeah, he's a little bit to the left. Okay. I'm just gonna try to check my range to him. Yeah, we're like 16 miles. So he should be like in the middle there. Maybe he's a little bit higher than I am. Let's climb a little bit. Make it easier for the radar to see him. Yeah, there you go. got a lock. So now he's hot. I'm gonna see if I can get on his 6. I think he's still moving away, eh? Yeah, he is. Oh, I guess we lost a lock there. So now we have a missile lock. He is well within 5 miles. So let's try Fox. There we go. Fox 2. Boom. He's hurt. Ooh. He's very hurt. But is he dead? Now I've lost my visual. Let's try not to crash. Is that him there, or is that... I think that's the fire from the target area. No, that's the sun. We'll just check the map. Ah, he's still alive. I still had my air brakes. Okay. Am I heading in the right direction? Generally speaking, yes, but not right on a 6. There he is. Thought that was him. What's his angels? 4.2. We're sort of there too. Oh, that's me. Okay, he's down. Okay, pilot. Alright then, let's go to our ground target. Turn the air-to-air mode off. Still have that thing there, that's good. So we saw some smoke earlier, and that is smoke that I had positioned inside the village. If I go towards the waypoint like this, with this thing here, it should point towards a village that has some smoke in it. At 10 miles. Is that the village there? Ah, there's a village with some fire. And so, in the middle of that village, close to the fires, there's a series of enemy trucks. What I'll do is I'll set this thing roughly like trying to find somewhere around there that would be good for my rockets. Trying to see the village, what it looks like. Yeah, there is an opening in that village where the trucks are. Yeah, I think I see some of them. Okay, so I'll move to the right. Then I'll move left on them. There we go. Alright, that should be good. Let's see how that looks.
Right.
Bunch of trucks right there. That looked like it was a successful strike.
Right.
See if I have a few rockets left, and we'll empty the rocket pods, maybe shoot a few guns at them.
Right.
There isn't much left, I gotta say. Yeah, we're out of rockets. And I guess my gun pass didn't do much. But we got most of them, so I'm happy. And I'll try not to get shot by one of those technicals. Maybe I could do like one last gun run coming from the fire side. Maybe they won't expect me from there.
Right.
And then we'll head home. Is that a truck or a bush? Yeah, I see trucks and bushes, but not too sure, so I'll just like spray and I'll just leave the area at this time.
Right.
And so we're back to doing navigation, so let's go to our next waypoint, which is right in front, heading for the final approach to the airbase. We're almost at the right altitude to do that already. And so if I want to practice my radio comms, I could go to channel 1, call the ATC, Gaziantep.
Pontiac 1, inbound.
Oh, did they want us to use runway 10? I had set the waypoint for the other runway, I think. If we look here, yeah, runway 10 is in the opposite direction. So I'll still land runway 28. Unless I decide to be a good boy once I get to the airfield. I don't know, maybe. I tend to be a bit rebellious with the ATC and DCS because they're a bit annoying. Even when you set up wind and stuff like that, sometimes they still want you to use a certain runway that doesn't necessarily make sense with your flight plan. So 13 miles to the final waypoint and 24 miles from the runway. So I guess we'll just take the runway. We'll put it to our right just a little bit. And then we'll follow their instructions because sometimes I do that. Trying to spot the village, the town, the airfield. Okay, so that's the chimneys, so the airfield is right there. Turn on the autopilot. Turn a bit more towards the airfield. But they want me to fly past it and come back in, so there. So there's Gaziantep. Roger. So we'll start slowing down. So we're at 500 knots. Let's get the air brakes out. I'll remove the autopilots. And so now we're below 300 knots. We'll drop the flaps of first notch. We'll start making our right turn. So now we're at 200 knots. We'll drop the gear and go full flaps and give it a little extra power.
Pontiac 1, request landing.
Skies look clear. Oh, I'm a bit fast, I guess. Put our feet on the pedals. Back to the cockpit. This is where we fly, not from the outside view. Especially when we land this thing, it's like it wants to drive off like this as soon as you hit the brakes. That's what I'm doing. Let's get rid of that chute. As we taxi, we can get our speed brakes in, get the flaps back up. And because this area is hot weather, we can do this and this. A bit of refreshing air. We hear the helicopter right there. I noticed when I took off that I could hear it really well even with the canopy closed. So. The F1, I guess we hear a little bit better the outside noises than some of the other planes. Maybe those American modern planes are like Cadillacs with, you know, soundproofing and all. Good old French planes. You can hear what's going on. Just like the old French sports cars. Here I have my little shelters. I think I've positioned like an area where I parked a few F1s that are static. So if we look on the outside view, we'll see over there. Just past the tower, I think that's where they are, yeah. Got a few Spanish C-130s. See an F1 right there. There's quite a bit of room for me here. So I think I'll go straight ahead into that little box in front. And we'll try to see with the high-speed nose wheel steering if we can actually turn it around once we get in there. Just gonna try to judge distance. Alright, that looks good. And once we get to that line, we'll turn like this. Am I gonna clip my wing? No. And now we're gonna try to turn real fast. It's not too bad, eh? There. Like that. So now they can service it in here and it'll be ready to go. That's good enough for me. So let's put the parking brakes on. And we'll do our lazy shutdown. And we're even parked in the shade. Look at that. So it won't be too hot for us. And the canopy closes when it says canopy open. But there we go. And then maybe we could put the wheel chucks. I don't know if it's too late for that.
Chief, place the wheel chocks. Copy. Wheel chocks are now in place.
There we go. So we're all nice and good. We can exit the plane. So we've done a little bit of a refueling. Hit some targets on the ground. Let's go check that out. Aren't that many vehicles left. Those trucks there. Let's see. Yeah, these guys ran away for their lives. But this group of trucks, not much left there. So this truck right here and this truck here. This technical is smoking. And the Land Rover here looks like it's survived. The poor soldiers didn't make it. So yeah, cool. And as we saw earlier, there was a parachute pilot here. So the Su-25 that I shot at was killed. Of course, he was a bit defenseless. I just wanted to practice shooting my missiles. I hadn't done it in a while. It's always good to just get some practice. So takeoff, refuel, strike, and air to air, and come back to land. I guess that was fun. So I hope you enjoyed. Cool hand out.